Um, this is more of a normal voice speaking one again. I'm a little farther away though, so I hope that factors in well. This is sort of a follow-up video. You see, I had this other video where I whispered, and that was when I showed you all my Nintendo 64 games, and just gave some brief thoughts on all of them, some more brief than others, and I figured I should do another one, because you see, well, when I took all of them out, and I stacked them up here, I mean, I had to do that to show you all of them, and I figured maybe it makes some kind of neat sounds, so I put them back in here, but I know it's kind of loud when I do that, so I figure if the camera's farther away, it'll seem quieter, and if I talk a little louder, that'll help balance that. Plus, if everything's a little, I don't know, I'm hoping the volumes balance out well. Well, that's all I had, but then instead of just putting them back in here for you, I figured I should do something else with that, because I thought that would just be boring and short. So what I did is I stayed up all night, because I was working on other videos anyway, and I now, sorry if it's hard to hear, looking from one thing to the other, like, I just looked up, I was looking up fun facts for every single one of these games, and I just wanted to get one fun fact for each one, and I wanted to keep it down to like one fun fact for each one, and it was hard to find some, there's too many for some of them, so I had to just pick whatever the first one was, usually, or the coolest one if I read more, or I just pick something. If there weren't very many to choose from, I tried to pull something out of there to give you guys, because I didn't want to leave them blank. And without going back over and looking at this, I just kind of tried to remember all these off the top of my head while I was looking on my computer. And I only missed one game. Came back over here and it's like, oh, I did miss one. I thought I'd miss a few, but that's pretty good off the top of my head, even though I probably should know them all. But I guess, there's a lot, so yeah, start over here. First game we got, I'm sorry if it's really far away to see. We got, actually maybe I can make it look a little closer. Just zoom her in there. If I do that, you can't see the top and the stacks or anything, but easier to see. The game is Glover, and I had a hard time finding any real good fun fact about it. Plus, I don't, God, I really don't like this game. I haven't given it much of a chance, but what I've played, it was awful. But it was originally released for the, it was, I don't remember, but the fact anyway, this is the 64 one, but it was also released for PlayStation and Microsoft Windows as well. That was the half-ass fact I could come up with for this one. Boy, that fact sure was fun. Oh. Next we have another turd, Quest 64. And this really didn't have, it had like very little for like interesting stuff to look at about it, so I was like, alright, here is the story. I got most of these off of Wikipedia unless they like weren't cited. And one of them I went in to confirm too. I don't know, like one of them wasn't cited, I remember. That I was going to put on. I was like, I better not, because it's not cited. That's how I do it. Anyway. The story for Quest 64 is, okay, here. The playable character is an apprentice mage named Brian. Brian sets off to find his father, who has left the monastery of the mages. The player learns later that his father is looking for a thief who has stolen the L-Tail book. Air quotes are hard to do down there. The player must also collect elemental amulets, which have been hoarded by powerful criminals and are integral in the defeat of the game's final boss. That was like the most interesting thing I could find about it. I figured you at least know what it's about. But I would say stay awake, it's a turd. This might still even be too loud, but whatever. Try. This game, not too bad, like I said. I'll probably start trying to give you my opinion on these games while I'm doing this because I did that in the other video. Alright, Megaman 64. Megaman Legends was released in 1998 in North America for the PlayStation. Megaman 64 was released in 2001 for the Nintendo 64 as a port. However, the port was not enhanced in any way and even was missing a few small features. A PC port of the same year had similar problems, including a dialogue glitch. Like that one is one I've looked up before, stuff on it, because I was all curious. Check this in here. Nice. Nicely. Miss Pac-Man. Maze Madness. A sequel to Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness, called Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness 2, was conceived for PlayStation 2, Xbox, and the GameCube, but was cancelled for reasons unknown. Quite a clever name. In fact, I don't know why this wasn't called Miss Pac-Man 64, but... Oh dear. I had to go there. Get in there, you bastard. There you go. I think that's in. Looks in. Gauntlet Legends. Oh, this one was a bummer. I didn't actually find any really good facts since most of the stuff was about the arcade version of it, and this is just must be a rather close port for the most part. As for other ones, I guess, I don't know, but it didn't give me a whole lot of detail. I don't really know the difference between the arcade and this myself personally, so I just happen to know a fun fact from playing this game. It's just that changing colors of your characters' outfits also changes their whole body appearance. Like, you get different, like, hair color, skin color, and, like, you just, like, look like different people. I think you're the same relative size, but I don't know. That was my little fun fact for that. You can do with that what you will. And here, Cruising USA. Along with Killer Instinct Gold, Cruising USA was planned as a launch title for the Nintendo 64, claiming that its arcade cabinet ran on the same hardware as the Nintendo 64. However, it actually ran on Midway's custom hardware, which was better than that of the Nintendo 64, and created for a lesser version on the home port. So yeah, they had to like dumb everything down, like scale it down a bit, because the arcade cabinet it like ran faster and looked better. So that was rough, and this wasn't even done by Midway. That's That's an additional fun fact, I guess, that I just didn't really know, but I saw. Oh. Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Kazooie was originally going to be a Super Nintendo game called Dream that revolved around a character named Edison. Banjo was a secondary character, and Kazooie was only a very minor character late in the development. It was later moved to the Nintendo 64 and refocused on Banjo, a more interesting character, and Kazooie as his pal. That's some cool stuff. I mean, it's weird how this could have been like a way different game. And I'm glad it's not. I'm very glad it's not a different game. Forsaken. It says 64 up there, but it's really... the box art says Forsaken and whatever. You can call it Forsaken 64 if you want, I guess. I don't know. Alright. Well, since I didn't have really another, like, a good fun fact for it, some of them were okay-ish, but I don't know how familiar everyone is with this game either. And I know in my video I said that I didn't really know the plot. Well, I found the plot, and it's pretty badass. Listen to this. In the distant future, the advancement of science has exceeded humanity's ability to control it. During a subatomic experiment, an accident causes an uncontrollable fusion reaction, utterly destroying the surface of the planet Earth. 1 year later, Earth has been classified as condemned by the ruling imperial theocracy, meaning that it is now legal for anyone to salvage anything left on the planet. Mercenaries from all over come to raid the dead planet, forced to battle not only each other, but the robot sentinels that the government has left behind. So it sounds pretty badass. And the game is pretty badass, music's pretty badass. So I'd say you should I didn't give it enough of a shot, but you should try it out, because it's pretty badass. Sorry. Alright, what we got here? Banjo Kazooie. Bottle's Revenge was a mode that was supposed to allow player 2 to play as an undead Bottles that could take control of enemies and bosses. However, due to time constraints, the mode was left inaccessible on the final product, although it can be accessed through cheats in its unfinished state. Donkey Kong 64. The game's 4 megabyte version, the standard type for all games, had a bug that the expansion pack fixed. Only the expansion pack fixed. So Rare had to pay out of their own pocket to supply a free expansion pack along with each game. So yeah, they had to fix their mistake, and so they had to pay out of their own pocket to do that. I thought that was kind of a pretty interesting thing. I didn't know. It kind of sucks for them, but... And what's this? Oh yes, it's Donkey Kong 64. The level Fungi Forest is a redesign of an unused level that was going to be in Banjo Kazooie originally. So they're kind of close together in here, related. Alright. Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart 64, referred to as Super Mario Kart R early on, showed a prototype, including the feather from Super Mario Kart and a Magic Koopa in place of what later became Donkey Kong. Star Fox 64. Star Fox 2, a nearly completed but never released Super Nintendo sequel to the original game on the same system, was the source of Star Fox 64's all-range mode, multiplayer, and Star Wolf. Star Fox 2 was scrapped in order to have less limitations by moving to the Nintendo 64. Star Fox 64 is a remake of the first game. Sorry if I've been talking a lot. I feel like I've been talking louder now. I'm sorry, but announcing these things, I don't know, make it feel more official. Jesus, I'm sorry. This doesn't go under correctly. Piss me off. Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Bros. Was originally intended to be a Japan-only release, but was released worldwide when sales exploded despite low budget and little promotion. Doesn't go there. That goes there. Yeah. That's back in a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh, beautiful. On to the second stack. The back half. The one game that I forgot when I was going through all of these in my head. Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire used real orchestral music rather than the usual synthesized music. Not the most interesting fact, but some of the other ones were kind of and I guess probably went a little bit over my head or something, but they're not all in there perfectly, but I'm not going to try to go back and stick with them now. Alright. Ooh, that's it. Bomberman 64. The 1997 commercial for the holiday season of Bomberman 64's release featured an alternate version of the 1967 Spider-Man TV show theme song. I don't know exactly how that went, but you could probably use your imagination. And this another one where I didn't. That was like really the only interesting fact I could find, where I was looking anyway. That would help for a fun fact. Some of these are just more interesting, I guess, than fun, but whatever. Get the idea. Okay, Goldeneye. Goldeneye was originally planned to be a rail shooter. Can you imagine? Also, I found when I was looking up facts for this, that even like one of the design members of the design team admitted that and they quoted saying that the multiplayer was a complete afterthought. They did just tack it on, and it was mostly done by one person that just sat in the room and like did it themselves and made the multiplayer mode. I don't know. And it's pretty fun, so that's pretty cool. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil was announced even before its predecessor, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, was released. The working title was Turok Dinosaur Hunter Part 2. I mean, it's not the fanciest thing, but, you know, let me get the job done. This thing just want to fall out of here. Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Stadium was originally intended for the Nintendo 64 DD system, or disk drive system, but the system's poor sales led to the game being put into cartridge format. Yes, that was quite a curious thing that I never actually got to use, so it would have been cool. Pokemon Stadium. Yes, there's two of these too, if you remember. Pokemon Stadium, or Pocket Monsters Stadium, was originally released only in Japan, featuring only 42 playable Pokemon and having a higher difficulty of gameplay. This version, released worldwide, is known as Pocket Monsters Stadium 2 in Japan. Sounds like a rough cut to that. I should put this on the same side as the other Pokemon Stadium. Doom 64. The original title of Doom 64 was going to be The Absolution, but was changed to suit the system, and this old title was given to the final level of the game instead. Yeah, everything had to be called 64 on a 64. I get it, and it can be dumb, but I don't know, I guess I didn't mind it. I understood it. You're like, hey, what's that for? You automatically know. Kind of like stuff on Super Nintendo being called Super. You know. It's like that. Whatever. Either you accept it or you don't. Duke Nukem 64. Duke Nukem 64, on top of having a 4-player multiplayer mode, included some levels from the Plutonium pack, such as Duke Burger. Although this port features no in-game music, just the title screen / menu theme. I couldn't find a whole lot on this, because it talked about the main game for the computer, and then it was very, very sparing details about the ports. So just went with what they told me and what I already knew. Like, I don't actually know what exactly the Plutonium pack is, but I'm assuming some kind of expansion for the computer. Alright. Diddy Kong Racing. Diddy Kong Racing was originally going to be a real-time strategy game with a caveman / time travel theme called Wild Cartoon Kingdom. I never knew that, nor would I have guessed. Then it was switched to adventure racing. Then it was envisioned as RC Pro-Am 64, a sequel to the NES titles. Shigeru Miyamoto offered to let Rare use Diddy Kong, and though not even too willingly, they accepted. They actually wanted it to be their own thing and go a different direction and have someone else do that, but when they offered Diddy Kong, they kind of like, okay. Like, that's nice of you to do, but we didn't really need that. WWF, No Mercy. Though the last WWF game to be released on the Nintendo 64, It was the first on it to feature special matches like ladder and special guest referee matches. Not a whole lot I could find that was worth vocalizing, I guess. Oh jeez. She's almost full. WCW NWO Revenge. WCW NWO Revenge was the best-selling wrestling game on the Nintendo 64 and, as of 1999, was the top-selling third-party Nintendo game ever. That's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. You know, I was into wrestling at the time. I was like, sweet. Anyway. Super Mario 64. The Golden Rabbit roaming the basement halls in Super Mario 64 was actually a character used in early testing of Mario's mechanics. The rabbit was named MIPS, M-I-P-S, after the microprocessor without interlocked pipeline stages type of CPU the Nintendo 64 used. And you can look up what the fuck those are yourself, because I didn't quite understand what I was looking at the time, and you know, I don't really feel that bad about it. Alright, well, this drawer holder is full, but still a couple more here. Jet Force Gemini. The characters of Jet Force Gemini were originally designed more childlike, but were changed to adults due to Nintendo's request. And this is just a little punch of my own here. But also, the Jet Force Kids cheat may be a rough idea of the original character designs. That's just my speculation. And you get that by collecting so many heads, and then you can unlock that cheat in the cheats menu. So, yeah, if anyone wants to confirm that, you can go ahead and do that, but that's just a thought. Yeah, these don't all fit in there. A couple have to sit out. And finally, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Shigeru Miyamoto originally intended Ocarina of Time to be in a first-person perspective to show off the 3D environments, but changed his mind when the idea of Child Link was introduced, feeling that it was necessary to see this. It would have been a very different game. First-person view, person. There's no H there. Well, that's all the fun facts that I got. Hopefully this isn't too loud, or you know, I hope it's still kind of relaxing. The sounds aren't too bad or anything. And if you have trouble hearing any of these, or, you know, I'll keep these, and I can tell you any of these, you know, I'll just post a comment or something, and be like, hey, what was that fact about that one? Or if you just want to correct some of those, if I'm wrong, go ahead. Any other facts you want to join in and post, go ahead. Really open to putting anything on my video. I don't usually get a lot of feedback, or I haven't for a little while. So feedback would be cool too. But yeah, I'll keep these, and if you just ask me about what I said for some of these, I'll just like put it in a comment or something, or in the description, and show you. Yeah. So you'll probably get some more stuff, like I'm probably going to get a few more videos out of Nintendo 64 stuff alone, plus I have other games to show you, but I like doing it, but yeah, definitely stay tuned for more ASMR stuff, and have a great